category is Stars and Stripes Forever. First up...
What's up, everybody? It's me again, and it's time to lean in, bitch. It's time for some RuPaul's Drag Race. We are on episode 8, and it was a very interesting one. It was a very slightly emotional, maybe for some people, not for me, but you know, I did feel the emotion. But before we get into it, make sure you go down, make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment, make sure you like, do all the things to support, okay? Moving along, as we get into the episode, of course, we come back and the girls are in the workroom. They're in the workroom and Heidi is on this high because she's won, right? And Jan is gone home. Now, one thing I was like, I know it's probably quiet as hell up in that workroom because I know Jan was probably wearing them low. They showed some clips, and all the clips they were showing, Jan was like, just loud, child. And, you know, Jan was a cool girl, but I could really see how if these girls are going to bed at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and waking up at 5 and 6 to start filming, who wants to be, all that. So, nonetheless, sad to see Jan go, but at the same time, I'm sure those girls were happy, okay? But moving along, so other than that, Heidi's had her win, Jan is gone, and Gigi is feeling a little down. She reveals that she thought she would always be in the top. And, you know, honestly, I mean, that's not surprising. If you look at her and just see her demeanor, she is not the most humble person. She does have, like, this face of, oh, everyone's doing so well, we're all doing great. But now that she's in the bottom and not doing so great, it's starting to show. So, anyway, the mini challenge this week, they are dressing up as cats and they have to impress RuPaul. And another mini challenge there. It wasn't really fun. It wasn't really entertaining, but it was cool to watch. You know, I love in the mini challenges to see the girls get in their quick drag because you can really see who's like really talented in makeup. And some of them actually be having some nice faces. Like they be doing some really good makeup in 15 or 20 minutes. So kudos to those girls. Jada always looks good. Jackie always looks good. Sherry Pie, she does the same face, and this time she looked really ghosty in the face, but anyway, we ain't gonna talk about Sherry Pie anyway. So this week's challenge, the challenge was a debate. And of course, you know, going into the election year this year, they were preparing for that. But it's supposed to be a parody of a debate. And I'm guessing every girl had to have their platform. They had to basically debate. And this was a challenge I was like, okay, like I thought and knew that this would be Jackie's challenge. However, we found out later that's not the truth. So individually, let's just talk briefly about how these girls did in the debate. Sherry Pie, she wasn't that entertaining to me. And Sherry Pie, you know, at first I thought she was a very strong, funny girl, but I'm starting to see she's very one note, very one dimensional. I thought they were spot on. I didn't notice it at first, but when Jada mentioned it and on the runway, when they mentioned about her being the same character, that old lady character, I was like, you know what, this bitch is always an old lady. So Sherry, I wasn't feeling her. She wasn't funny. She wasn't memorable. She was in the lower half, if you ask me. Heidi was great to watch because, you know, she said her thing. She had her funny moments. She threw her shade. But like they said, her mannerisms, like her, and her, like, just her gestures is what really got, you know, is what really pushed her through. I thought she was very charming and very lovable. And so with that, and she had her own, you know, she used her strengths, the gap. Like, I thought it was a good attempt. I thought it was really good. And I think she was pretty much in the top. I think if Jada hadn't won, she would have won that challenge. And I was very happy, very surprised to see my niece, you know, Heidi, my niece, be so high this week, especially after last week. So kudos to my girl, Heidi. Gigi was very boring. She tried, but it was just very dry. It was very dry humor, and I was surprised. I was just surprised that she didn't get, you know, that she wasn't in the bottom. I really thought she should have been in the bottom because even though they said others weren't funny and stuff like that, like hers was the most all over the place. Like she looked the part, but everyone, you can clearly tell she was the weakest because all of the other girls were coming at her. And she was like the target. So for her to be the target, that's the time for her to shine and time for her to really fight through. And she didn't really fight through. Like, she let those girls read her, whether it was, real or not, like, and she was basically bullied. So in a debate, if you're bullied like that, like, she will be the person that everybody be looking at like, oh my God, like, she got wore out. Because you cannot get wore out in a debate. And she was the person that got wore out. So Gigi, I wasn't feeling it. Jackie, like I said, I was very surprised that Jackie did not excel in this challenge. She's a very smart queen, as they have said. She's very witty. And this one, she did not do so well. The Canada thing, I guess they kept asking her to mention Canada. And I guess they was just like, girl, this is not, this is RuPaul's Drag Race in the U.S. So, like, but Jackie, she let me down because I really thought she was going to push through, but she didn't. So she was rightfully in the bottom. Crystal Method, she used this mullet thing again. She's using this for RuPaul. She's giving RuPaul what he wants. Now, hopefully we don't see it again, honey, because I'm tired of it. And I like Crystal. She is, like I said, absorbing. She's a sponge. She's taking in everything everyone says, and she's using it. And she's really pushing through. In a challenge like this, I thought she would struggle. But she was herself. Like they said, she wasn't really debating, but she was giving you, I'm the next president, without a gimmick. And that's what I think I like, and that's what I think the judges like too. So I like Crystal's. Hers was good. Widow, I don't think Widow did as bad as they say she did, because you could tell she stayed up and whatever she did, wrote out her stuff, because she was giving me a real debater. Like, not only was she giving me Lady May from Greenleaf with the hair and their hair so far back, but she also was giving me like a real presidential candidate. And I thought she did okay. I didn't think she was bottom worthy. I think she did better than others, such as like Gigi and Jackie, but I don't know. As far as her being funny, like, I didn't laugh at her punchlines, but like, I thought she had some good ones. When she said, how can she win the race? She can't win the race against her beard. I thought that was clever, but apparently the judges didn't see it for 100. They was ready for her to go. And then that's how we get to what we're going to talk about later. So, Jada, my girl, was giving me Maxine Waters that didn't finish school, but made enough sense to get out and do some politics. I thought what she did was genius when she was like, look over there. Like, it made them laugh, and you could tell that she probably didn't plan to do that. But she made a mockery of what we have as, the election year. This year is a fool. It is very confusing. So kudos to her on doing that. And Jada, she rightfully won, and I was very surprised, as I am always, that she pushes through in these type of challenges. Like, Jada, she's killing it. This week on the main stage, the runway theme was stars and stripes. And I was very like, okay, the promo for this season was basically red, white, and blue stars and stripes or whatever. So I was surprised they kind of did it again. But to be honest, these looks look 10 times, 1,000 times better than what a lot of the girls wore in the promo. So maybe they should let these girls dress themselves. Or if they did dress themselves, they didn't do it right the first time. But again, stars and stripes. As you can see, I got on my stars. But, I'm safe. Let's talk about these girls, because I look good. Sherry Pie, I'm going to give Sherry Pie a boot. I have not booted her all season, but I didn't like that outfit. It was giving me a little white diaper, and I get what she was going for, but it just wasn't the most appealing look. It seemed like, she's not a small person, but it seemed like it looked like a diaper. She looked like she had a diaper. So, based off that and the whole concept, I just didn't like it, so I'm going to give it a boot. Heidi in Closet, it was very safe. Heidi, she is not the best on the runway, but this, unfortunately, it was just sad to say, this is one of her top looks, because she looked presentable, much more presentable than she has in the past. So I was happy to see that she looked the part, and this was a good week for Heidi. She did really well in the debate, and like I said, if it wasn't for Jada, she would have won that. And they liked her runway too, so toot for my girl Heidi. Gigi, I liked her outfit. I really, really, really did. But it looked just like a replica of her premiere Into the Workroom look, and then I saw Gigi in person and she had on basically another replica of that same look that she wore in this runway, minus the red, white, and blue. So Gigi, I don't know if she wore that outfit, and honestly, I didn't see any stars or any stripes. I get, but everybody had on some kind of stars and some kind of stripes. This is not the first time that Gigi did not have on This was out of dress code. She had the buttons. She didn't have no bows. I'm gonna give her a shoe. It was a cute outfit, but she was out of dress code to me, so give her a shoe. I let her pass this time, honey. Jackie Cox, I liked what she was doing. She was staying true to who she was and her heritage, and I get it, like her culture, all of that. It was very nice. I thought it was I liked that it was very flowy, and it was a really cute look for Jackie. Like she really goes and dives into her culture. I can tell, like, she likes to keep, pieces of her into it. So this was a good one. Her spiel, which we'll talk about later as well, was really good. It was a great concept. I like Jackie's. Oh yeah, I gotta give her a 2. My bad. Crystal Method, they didn't like her outfit. I loved her outfit. It was, to me, the second best to me. And because it was just like she said, when she said thrift, like, it gave me, I'm gonna go and pick up all these vintage pieces and put it together. But she put it together so well. Like, I liked it. It was very cute. She had the jacket with the stars and then the hat, the fedora. Like, I don't know what Carson was talking about, but I like the look, so I'm gonna give it a 2. Widow, to be honest, she did have my favorite look. It was very different. I liked that she stood out. It was still stars and stripes, Gigi. And she was in theme. Like, I liked it. Honestly, I didn't really care for the hair with it. I get what she was doing. I didn't really care for the hair, but the hair was safe. It made the outfit safe. Now, when she took the stars off later, I liked the outfit a lot less. But still, based off the runway itself, minus knowing that it comes to piece, the stars come off, I'm going to give her a 2, actually a top 2, because that was a really good look. Jada Essence Hall, I liked her look. She had stars and stripes. I mean, she really was giving me rock stars and stripes with the hair and the makeup, the whole ensemble. She made it herself. She's very talented, especially in the workroom. That's why I'm ready to see her makeovers next week. But obviously, I'm going to give this a 2. Let's talk about this lip sync. Now, the song was Fireworks by Katy Perry. And I was just like, oh my God, like, Widow is finna slay this lip sync just because she's a lip sync assassin. So we thought. The lip sync starts out, Jackie's doing this quirky little thing with the word. She's being very clever. I'm like, okay, she's whatever. I just knew that it was going to turn up at some point. But when it turned up, it wasn't for Widow. It was for Jackie. Like, Jackie turned it out. And Widow, I was surprised because she kind of just wanted to give this emotion, this raw emotion. But you got to do a little more than that. Like, if both of y'all giving emotion, somebody got to give a little more. And in this case, Jackie gave more. She was twirling around and getting on the ground, playing with the words. She had her drape was just flowing everywhere. She was giving it, and she was lip syncing. So to be honest, I really think that she won that lip sync fair and square. Some people said double sachet. What? Somebody said double shantae, and I'm just gonna say no. I think it was just all Jackie. Jackie won a lip sync, and it sucks because this was really a lip sync that it could have went either way. Neither of them had so many wins or anything like that to where they were like considered as they weren't going home regardless. They both were at risk. So if Widow had really turned it out, she could have got it. Now, honestly, she ended up in the bottom because of her defeating herself. I think that's why. I don't think she did any worse than Gigi. I think Gigi should have been in the bottom with her, but of course they're not going to do that because Gigi, they want to keep her there, and I don't think Gigi is a great lip syncer. But also, Widow beat herself down, and she made herself look like a target. She already stood out in the black. Now she just stood out for being, defeated and kind of ready to go home. So it sucks, but that's what happens in RuPaul's Drag Race. Not to mention that Jackie, she had the edit, she had the camera time this episode. So, watching her spill to the judges when she was crying, giving emotion, I kind of felt like they were setting her up to stay anyway. But as I said, it could have been any woman's game. Either one of them could have went home. It just really came down to the lip sync. Nobody had that advantage that other girls in this competition have. The judges this week, I enjoyed the judges. I can't think of his name or her name, but I think the guy may have said something to be a little offensive to Jackie because I saw an article where the fans were kind of like reading him basically, and I think he didn't realize that he said something pretty ignorant. But he was cool. If you saw in the lip sync, it kind of made him, I don't know what touched him, the fact that Widow was going home and she was trying, or the fact that Jackie was so like for her culture and pushing through in that lip sync. But he had shed a couple tears, child, and he was cool to watch. I enjoyed him. And the female, she was really good too. She was, I don't know her either. She was entertaining to watch. She had great critiques. I thought she had a really good critique when she said to separate herself from her craft. I think that is something that people should always remember on this show from this point on to all other RuPaul's Drag Race, because this show is not an easy show. I ain't on it, but I know it is not easy. I know it is long days, long nights, and it is really a race. So if I ever went on it, which I could, I would have to just remember that, child, because, I mean, you know, it ain't easy. Untucked this week was a little interesting. It was very emotional to watch because, you know, it's just hard to watch these girls in this competition because, you know, they're doing whatever they're doing. It's every day, every morning, all day, making clothes, going out in heels, all this. And you see them break down. There's always one every season. This season, I think the hardest one to watch is definitely Widow. Now, Widow, she clearly, you know, Widow is the type of person to where she has a wall up. Since the beginning, she has already said, like, this is a competition. And I think that that's very important to feel and a way to think. But you have to have some type of friend or support in this competition. And that is the only reason why I understood what Jackie was saying. You know, I really do believe that Widow shut herself off from the other girls because she was such in this competition mentality. And when it came down to times like this where you need someone to really pull you through, she didn't have it. You know, Heidi went over and talked to her, but that's not enough. Like, of course, someone's going to go over and talk to the girl, you know, when they're down and stuff like that. But she needed friends. She needed RuPaul's best friend race, bitch. She needed it because that would have helped her. Now, the other girls were talking to her as well. They were all trying to keep her, lift her up, but it's just like you just watching this mechanism just fail. There was nothing they could possibly say to make Widow feel any better than what she was already feeling. And I really like what the judge said at during the critiques when she said that you have to separate yourself from your craft. She's obviously very talented. She's very well known in Kansas City and everywhere else in the U.S. I've seen her before. And you can just tell that she finally realized in this moment that she was not the hot shit that she thought she was. Now, she's very, very, very talented. But in this episode, you can tell that she was just like realizing that I am not as great in terms of when it comes to all these other girls. This is a competition, and I think she finally realized that she may be out of her league. And it got to her, and that's where she is. But I applaud the girls for trying. You know, she kept cutting them off, and Jada and Jackie and everybody, Heidi, they all were trying to lift her up, but it was nothing they could do to get her off the ground. Okay, that lady was tanked. She was done. I can't speak on this competition because I am not in it. But what I can say is that one thing they should always remember is that they beat 1,000, million, whatever girls to be on this show. They only pick 14 girls every season, 15 or whatever. And if you are chosen of all these 1,000 girls, you have to think like, okay, there is something in me that RuPaul saw. You know, I know that's easier said than done. But that is the one thing that I feel like if I was on the show, I would have to remind myself that, okay, I may didn't do well this week. I understand I may have been terrible. I may have had no good looks for these last few weeks, Widow. My heels may be real short and not cute, Widow. And I may have not won a challenge since the first episode, Widow. But I am still very talented and I made it here, bitch. So these girls need to think like that, and I think that will really help them. It will really keep them uplifted. It shouldn't take for RuPaul to get upset at you on the main stage because RuPaul was upset. You know, RuPaul is, it's so funny when RuPaul gets upset. You know, she tries to stay in character, which she does a really good job, but she almost comes out of character. I see the bald-headed RuPaul coming out of Mama Ru when she's upset, and honey, it was coming out this. So I was like, ooh, please, what's her name? Please, Widow, stop talking because RuPaul is about to come out of this afro, and I just don't want to see that with this makeup on. So this episode, I really enjoyed it. I think that it could have been a little better. I expected the debate to be a little bit more funny, But in the end, it kind of came down to being kind of like another reading challenge or something like that. But it was cool. It was good to watch. Next week, there is the makeover challenge, which is actually one of my favorites. So now we get to see who is a true fashion queen, because usually the fashion queens always emerge from this one. So it's going to be good. I'm ready for it. Make sure y'all get ready for next week. Until then, I'll see y'all next week. But before that, make sure y'all comment. Okay, let me know what y'all think down here in these comments. Okay, because I don't like talking to this myself. I mean, I don't mind it, but, you know, give me something to look at. Thank y'all for the lean out real quick. Go back to quarantining, and I guess I'll see y'all later. Subscribe, honey. Don't forget. Oh, I gotta go. Bye.